Good places in California that have lost value in housing. And if you're buying a home, don't go it alone. We're also talking about the last week's volume. We did topple over 55 billion, which is awesome. Congratulations to all. And then we'll do highs and lows. And lows, no, they 14 billion in volume so far this year. I will do a wrap up on each of these and send them out on a separate blog on January 1st, hopefully, and we'll go from there. Okay, maybe December 31st. We'll see how things go. But we still have a few days before that, and we still have tons of sales to go before that. So keep buying houses. Still, the best place to buy is Napa. It's still around $1 million, but you can get it for 30 cents on the dollar, or 20 cents, 10 cents on the, or 90 cents on the dollar. Where in Sonoma, you're paying 101%. On the average, it's still coming up, but Santa Clara, we're at 98%. Now, what do these numbers mean? They mean from last year's averages. That's all that means. Doesn't mean it's true. You know, these are numbers that are reported from the MLS. I'm telling you what they are. They're just raw datum numbers, and they are subject to my humanity, which means I'm not perfect. So take that with a grain of salt. Hope that makes sense. There you go. Okay, so let's go to quick news. Mortgage is down, but not from last week. 6.68. It was actually down a little bit further last week. Same with gas. Gas was down to 7.9, I believe, last week. Yeah, 3.79, and it's up just a few pennies. The one on Lucretia, the quick stop at Lucretia, is the cheapest one I've found so far, if that's something you're looking for. All right. 20 places that were in California that prices have plummeted. I haven't actually read this thing. Castro Valley. Median price 1.137. It went down 10%. San Carlos on the peninsula, it went down 10%. South Lake Tahoe went down 10%. Livermore, that'd be a nice place. I don't know where that I don't think that's in Livermore, though. I think this is Livermore. Santa Cruz went down 10%. It looks like they still haven't come back. I can do actual numbers on these if you want, but y'all have to tell me that you want me to. Fremont got punched in the nose. Mountain View, which is, I think, overpriced for the value of the homes, but I mean, there is stuff to do in Mountain View, right? I get it. Willits went down 10%. Look, so I think that's good. When you look at the numbers here and you see numbers coming back up, I would say maybe in one or two of these places, like Albany, they haven't come back up. And Berkeley, they almost 12%. I don't know where they're getting these numbers, though. San Mateo, minus 12%. Oakland, well, actually, Oakland is a great place to buy if you want to buy someplace. Just some rough places there. Alameda, I used to live in a rough place. That's why I'm saying that. Alameda, 12% drop. I would love to live in Alameda. Pleasanton, Palo Alto, San Francisco. Well, yeah, nobody wants to live in San Francisco. East Palo Alto, Truckee, and the number one drop, almost 16%, is Dublin. Let's take a quick look at Dublin. Dublin, CA. There you go. Little tiny town right above Pleasanton. I could tell you that part of the reason why is, one, it's all bordering on freeway, except for over here. And those are all brand new developments. And I don't know. That's not a place I'd want to be. Okay, buying a house, don't go it alone. Use a real estate agent. Yes, our commission is negotiable. As a matter of fact, now, from this point on, not a broker requirement, but my requirement, if you're going to work with me, you're going to sign a buyer broker agreement, and there's going to be an agreement as to how much money, how much percentage I will be paid. It's just the way things are. You can think the greedy lawyers, you can think that class action lawsuits, you can say that realtors don't provide value, but we do. We understand the process. We understand the entire thing, how to protect you, how to make sure that you understand what you're buying. We know how to negotiate for you and how to make sure that the transaction runs smoothly, right? Do you need a realtor? No, you don't. You can do it with your buddy. You can buy their house, but then there could be some resentment, right? I always say never sell a car to a friend, because then they're never going to be a friend again. That's the reason why we have a third party interrupt, and that's why we get paid. We understand the process. We understand the legal terms and the contracts and how to negotiate. We understand the entire thing, so we help guide you, and that's what we're paid for. And we also do good for the community, right? I mean, I do the park cleanups and the barbecues. I haven't done it in a while, but it's one of those fun things. I'm not going to sit here and beg for my job or sing for my supper. The point is they've been around for a long time. Maybe we need to change things up, and I'm happy to change it, but there's no reason for a lawsuit to come down and make it punitive against everybody. Let's agree on how a process should be. The way it went down, where is it? I don't think it was this one. No. Yeah, the NLR lawsuit. Let's just say this guy, they actually fold and agree to the $1.8 million. And it could be 20% this guy's making, right? Lawyer gets $360,000 or $300. Pre-tax. Just going to leave it there. Let you think that one through. Nobody really wins except for the lawyers in that one. So who's really getting paid in that? Okay, enough of that. Tuesday's highs and lows. I did have it here too. Tuesday's highs and lows. Now, there were only three, because the bottom one, the 325, actually shows up twice, because it's the lowest and lowest priced one. Let me show you real quick. And then I have this one that I closed last week. Want to talk about it real quick. This one in Los Altos Hills, listed at 5.2, sold at 4.9, and it landed at 94% under list price. Right? Good for them. Okay. Took 95 days to sell. Is it worth it? Well, if you do the numbers on this house, you'll see that it was worth about $5 million, right? Now, they went over the market. They tried to be a market maker. And the big difference between reaching for the market or attracting the market or being a market maker, unless you're doing 25% of the deals, 10% of the deals, I don't know, 20, 25% of the deals in that specific area, you are not a market maker, right? You can't control the market. You have to attract the market. You have to attract buyers. And when you're looking at stuff like that, this house right here, which in all lights, it's not a bad house. It's just older. Might have been maintained well and updated, but it still has the old style architecture in it. Come on. Right? I mean, lower ceilings. The house was, the kitchens were redone. The tile floor is a little dated, right? And maybe the agent didn't tell him, hey, look, smack you around a little bit, got to give you a little tablespoon of truth. The house is dated. People are not going to pay a premium for dated homes. And it includes kitchens, includes floors, bathrooms, architectural style. If you have low ceilings, right? You can't compare this house to a house that's brand new, same square footage, but it has 10, 15 foot ceilings and tray ceilings and all the new decor, right? These mirrors are older, may have been an updated bathroom, but the footprint hadn't been changed, right? I'm telling you this because that's what I've done to my house. I'm not going to ask a premium to my house, but I've updated it. I've updated everything in my house, almost everything. I put can lights in, put dual pane windows, I've done kitchens twice. My house is worth more than the average house in my area. I won't push a premium on it because I still want to attract people, and the buyers will levitate that price. What they did here is they tried to be a market maker based on comps, not really realizing or not having the truth serum, the tablespoon of truth, saying the house is built in 1963. Yes, it's a 6-bedroom, 4.5 bath, and it's 3,400 square feet, and all the comps around it, all the comps disregarding age and architecture, should be 5.2. You didn't take into account the fact that the kitchens were done, and even if they were done recently, they were done with older architecture or older design style, right? Look, they staged it up. It looks nice and pretty. They have all nice new design stuff. But once you look at the guts of this, that is an old 1960s style house with a kitchen. They may have removed that and put a new cabinet here, but it's still the same floor plan. These tiles are screaming 2000s, 1990s, 2000s, right? That granite, which I'm a fan of granite. I'm a huge fan of granite versus plastic, but that style, that look, the pink salmon look, just screams dated. Okay. Next, Miller Ave, the highest list price to sales price ratio, 127, 27% over list price. It was built in 1935, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 794 square feet. Originally listed at 570, sold for 725. And it's really close to a busy street. And it's not in that great. This looks like a little cottage, right? Should be up in the mountains. But again, you attracted the buyers, right? You attracted the market. You brought the market to you. You didn't claim that I'm a market maker. And this last one right here, 325. Original list price $650,000, sold for $325. Over a year to sell. Built 1920, 850 square feet. Let's take a quick look. I mean, you're buying the land on this basically, right? That's what you're doing. You buy the land. Everything on this house is old and beat up. Let's take a quick look here. 85. That's De Anza. That's Monte Vista, Kennedy Junior High, the golf course. And there you go. So, and it's way, way out there. So, yeah, whatever they're going to be doing out there, I wouldn't even buy this property to rebuild it. I mean, you could. There could be I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Okay, let's take a look at my listing. One I sold on a straw. Now, this is in Cambrian, right? That's Oak Ridge. There's the Almaden Winery. That's Coozer. That's where Osh and Coles is. This one right here, we sold it knowing that it was probably worth about 1.3. We were hesitant to think that we were going to hit 1.3. See if I can bring this up for you. And it's an important lesson because you have to attract the market. Now, we could have gone to 1.1. It really doesn't matter, but I felt 1.2 was, for the condition, this house, I'll show you the pictures in a minute. For the condition of this house, it was probably the lowest on the list, but it wasn't the lowest on the comps. Over the last 6 months, we reached back over the last 6 months. We did 3 months and 6 months. We kind of massaged the numbers. And we took a look and said, how is this house going to sell? Well, do we want to spend time, energy, money, and months, we said time already, to fix this thing up and make it completely turnkey? Put about 150,000, 200,000 into it. 6 months down the road, I don't know. We're going to do it right, do it with that. Now, I actually sold the house to the right a few years ago, and we did the exact same thing. We sold it as is. Am I an advocate for as is? No, absolutely not. I can tell you straight up that I will give you your options. I want you to see what your options are in its current condition, if we do basic repairs or if we completely turnkey it. And it's up to you to decide what your actions are, what you want to do. Are you going to put up with 2, 3, 4, 5 months of dust and construction and noises and dirt and debris everywhere and get it completely turnkey? Absolutely up to you. I'm there for you. We have a project manager on staff. We're ready to do whatever it is you want to do. This house was a childhood home. They raised 5 kids, 6 kids there. And the parents passed away. The mom just recently passed away, not in the house. She passed away we took everything we could to doll it up, get rid of all the personal property, cleaned it up the best we can, got rid of there was a pergola in the background that was completely just jerry-rigged. There was an old style piano. There was a room inside the garage that somebody actually lived in for a while. We left that just because I was like, hey, that could be an ADU. We can sell it as value add if somebody actually wants to do that, because that's all the style, all the mode right now. But everything in that house is original. They did redo the kitchen, but back in the 60s or what have you, early on. And the father was a carpenter, a finished carpenter, so the work that he did was high quality. It's just later on he built the pergola, and it's kind of like an afterthought with spare lumber. So we got rid of that. We fixed some plumbing issues. There was like a door missing. We did that, and we just got it ready to do. We didn't even stage it. Didn't even spend the money staging it. This house, after completely turnkey, could be worth 1.8, 1.6 to 1.8, really depending on how you look at the times, right? Let's see if I can find that real quick. Finder. There. So this is what we do. We took a look at the week we put it up on market. We did this. These are active, these are pending, and these are sold. And if you look, 1.6, actually 1.6 is where it was, right? 1.673 was a little bit bigger than the house that we had. Yeah. It was about the same age. And let's take a quick look at it. Park Crest. There. Park Crest. Now, it looks pretty much the same. It's about the same square footage, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, completely dialed in. Great curb appeal, kitchen, entertainment, granite countertop, master house. Okay, so if you took a look at that one, you would realize that that house is completely redone, right? You can see the landscaping's done. It's been repainted. This house, pretty much original everything. We did wash it, power wash the cement. I went by this last weekend and pulled the lock box off, and the grass is growing again, but that's only because it's been raining. So there you go. It's a tale of two stories for that one. And when we sell your house, I want you to understand that I will never force you into whatever decision you make. It's completely up to you. My job is to give you the options, educate you on the possibilities. And once you give me marching orders, my job is to go and make that happen. Right? And it's the same thing as when you're working with a buyer. If you tell me this is what you're looking for and this and that, and I can find the house for you. My job is to find the right house for you and negotiate the terms that best fit your needs. And if you're going to buy a house or put an offer on a house that's brand spanking new, just like this one, new on market like this one, and you feel the buzz and the rush of the bid of the auction, that's what's going to happen. When you look at houses that have been on market for, I know this is not the best thing example, but if you see a house that's on market and it's overpriced, it's going to sit on market for a bit. It's going to sit on market a bit. That's just the way it is. All right. If you have any questions about it, if you want to talk about listing strategies or projects, or even if you have a need for a plumber or a landscaper, let me know. I have a ton of vetted vendors and contractors that I work with all the time, and I'm happy to share them with you. I'm Vito with Avatano. We'll see you out there.